allow you to introduce yourself, and then I can introduce myself as well more. But
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for this opportunity.
yep.
My name is Francis Farberoff, and I was born in Brazil, and
Sure.
I moved to the U.S. to go to school, to go to college. I'm a father. I'm married, father of one. I have one child, Luca, 7 years old, and I have a lot of passion for beach soccer. When I was young in Brazil, I grew up playing
Right.
beach soccer, but it was a different format. It was 11 on 11. It wasn't what the beach soccer game is now in Brazil because of the lack of space where I lived. It was in front of the beach, so the beach was very big. So you play on the beach because you had no other place to play on. So they had like actual big fields on the beach. So that's where I grew up playing. Then I moved to this country to play college soccer. I played for a school here in Miami called St. Thomas University. I played there for 4 years, and it was a great experience, because in Brazil, like college sports are not as organized as here. So it's like you have that professional environment. So you learned a lot about responsibility. You have to get good grades. You have to, be on time. You have to be responsible. You learn a lot. You learn a lot from being a college athlete, student athlete. Also, when I was in college, I was coaching kids, so I learned a lot as far as that. That's where I developed my passion for coaching kids. So I think it was my second year in school. One of my teammates used to coach youth soccer, and then he got me involved in that. Then I started doing that. Then when I finished college, I tried playing pro. At the time, there was no MLS. There were like other leagues.
Wow.
I played here, there. It was very pro am. You get $100 to play, $150, and then I found out about the beach soccer team. Wow. Then I had an opportunity. There was a lot of tournaments at the time, a lot of beach soccer tournaments here. And I started playing, I formed a team, and that's where my whole passion for the sport started. We had a group of guys that we loved the sport, so we used to train and play. There was tournaments all over, maybe 5-6 tournaments throughout the year. So we started playing beach soccer, and then also when there was no beach soccer, we played whatever tournament we could play. 5v5, futsal, outdoor tournament. We play, but it was just a group of guys that love to train, love to, to really work hard and win. That's what we really like, winning. So
wow.
That's how it started. And then I got an opportunity to play with the national team. I had put a tape together of me playing in this amateur tournament, beach soccer tournament. And I sent it to, at the time, the guy that was the goalkeeper. His name was Jensen Andrews. I think he was also like me. He did like broadcasting. And I had an opportunity, and that's how I started playing beach soccer for the national team. That was in 2000. So I got invited to a World Cup, and then played ever since. Played for 14 years, and then I got the. So that's my story as a player. Of course,
wow.
I have a lot of experience.
Wow, and that's super awesome. So, my big question for you is, would you obviously prefer the beach soccer game over more of like a full-sided game, right?
No, my dream was to be a full-sided game player. It's just that I didn't. I guess I was better on the beach. I guess the beach game came naturally to me. I guess since I grew up playing on it, I was just better at it. It was easier for me. I was a very technical player. I was never a very fast player. So for me in outdoor, I guess I lack to play at a pro level. I lack speed. I was very technical, but I didn't have that like next level speed. So I think that's what maybe didn't take me to the next level. But also again, there was no professional soccer. There was no MLS at the time, and it was beach soccer was easy to me. So I was good at it.
Wow.
And then I guess I made it to a national team, and I became the captain. So I just kept going. I kept and it gave me a lot of opportunities to travel. I played beach soccer. I played foot volley. I also represented the U.S. in foot volley, so I got the opportunity to travel the world, mostly with beach soccer. Dubai, went all over the world, Thailand, Europe, multiple times. and then opportunities to, Jamaica, Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, and then opportunities to play at the club level too. So I learned a lot from it. So
wow, that's actually awesome. That's really awesome. So moving forward, your life as a coach. I know as a coach, your perspective is obviously going to be different. So just start off by explaining when you got your first coaching gig and when you kind of figured out that, like, you wanted to take it to the next level with coaching, where you really wanted to start doing that and all.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said, when I got a little taste of coaching when I was in college. I used to coach kids, and after college, I started working full time. So I had, several jobs. I worked office jobs, and then I started working with, at the time, it was Bell South, then it became AT&T, and I worked there. It was a corporate job. I worked there for 12 years, and I became, I became a manager. So it was, but at the time I was working there, I was playing with the national team. They would allow me to do both. Wow. They would support me. Most of my bosses would support me to play. They were very patriotic, so they were like, "It's amazing you play for the national team." Even when I would run out of vacation, they would like be able to get me extra days. They like find some type of special permit to take some extra days so I could go and represent the national. They were very patriotic. But then when I got promoted, I had a boss that was not. She didn't really care about my soccer career. She only cared about her department, her numbers, And then that was at the time was beach soccer was growing a lot, and at the time I played for Seattle Sounders.
Yeah,
I had an opportunity to play with them. They had a club World Cup in Brazil.
Yeah.
So there was Barcelona, Milan, Seattle Sounders, Boca Juniors, Flamengo, Vasco. It was a pretty big tournament. It was 16 teams. Locomotive from Russia. So I was there with Seattle. And at the time I was there with my roommate, Oscar Gill. We were both in the national team. And we were with Seattle, and we were talking, and I wasn't, at the time I wasn't happy at my job because I wasn't being able to take time off to play. So I had to make a decision. Do I want to continue with beach soccer, and then beach soccer was growing. So when I was in Brazil, they announced they were going to have a tournament in Miami. At the time, it was called the Miami Cup in 2011, and it was like a month and a half away. So I was in Brazil, and they had the Miami Cup, and we were talking. And he was like, and I had many invites to coach at the time, to coach youth soccer, but I never took him seriously. So he was coaching youth soccer, and he was like, "Man, why don't we just start our own school? Let's start coaching." I was like, "Yeah, but I have this job, set salary, corporate job." And then, I talked to my wife, and she was like, "You know what?" She had a full-time at the job. She was a journalist. She worked, I think it was for Telemundo at the time.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, "Yeah." So she told me, "Don't worry, go ahead. I'll support you." So I just quit my job. I came back from the tournament in Brazil. I was in Brazil for 2 weeks playing for Seattle. And I just came into my boss's office and said, "You know what? I quit." She goes, "No, why do we want to quit?" I said, "No, I'm done." She tried to like convince me not to quit. I said, "I'm done. I'm gonna open up a soccer school." And at the time I quit like a pretty lucrative job to go start. I started coaching to make I think I was making like $200 a week. So I went from like a steady full-time job, pension, health insurance, all the benefits, to like nothing, $200 a week, being like an assistant coach at a youth soccer club. And then, but after the first week, I started growing there. Started growing little by little. Now, years later, I have my own club, my own youth club. That's what I do full time on the side. And so that's kind of like how I got into coaching. Like, I guess I saw that I kind of, like after a week, I started growing where I was. Like I started out like as an assistant coach, and little by little, they're like, "You know what? Let me give you one team. Let me give you two teams." All these people wanted to do private classes with me, and little by little, I guess I said, I guess I'm not, I can be pretty good at this. So that's how I got into coaching. And then at the time, that allowed me to train every morning. I was training on the beach. And then the tournament came in Miami, and the U.S. came out in second place. It was a pretty good finish. We beat Mexico, we beat Spain, and we lost to Brazil. So it was pretty cool to have, all the kids that I was coaching came to the tournament. And that kind of like that was 2011, and that kind of got me like a second win, and I was able to finish up my career strong. I was able to qualify as a player to the World Cup in 2013. Then I finished up my career in 2014 while I was coaching. So coaching kind of gave me a second win to be able to continue to train and play. So that was good.
And you were the captain that year too in 2014, right?
In Tahiti, 2013, yeah. I was a captain.
2013, I'm sorry.
Yeah, in Tahiti in the World Cup, yeah. So that was my last World Cup. So
wow, that's
and we
that's
went
amazing.
and we went to CONCACAF in Bahamas. We won the tournament. So it was good. It was good. It was a good way to finish my play career.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh, wow. So I love how your life has just progressed from you as a player to just throughout your coaching career, and obviously you have a prosperous future. So with the advancement of youth, or not just youth soccer, sorry, with the advancement of U.S. soccer, I just had a few questions as far as the platform for beach soccer. How do you see beach soccer growing? I know it's a fast growing specific sport of soccer, but things like equality in football and all of that. I just wanted you to touch base on your perspective of like looking into the world of soccer and seeing in which ways like we as a country in the U.S. can grow and kind of do better on all levels to compete with international teams and et cetera. Because, our soccer culture is just all over the place. So just whatever you really have to say about that.
Yeah, no, I think all the experience that I had as a player is going to help me, to really develop this program. But of course, I cannot do it by myself. I'm going to need support. So, I'm reaching out to my former players, guys that play with me, that don't play anymore, but now they're also coaches. So, I'm reaching out to them to help me, promote the sport. The sport is still a long way compared to soccer. But I think some things that I think are important is for us to be able to start a league, to start a beach soccer league, even if it's at local levels, to get people playing. Like, for example, in my youth soccer school that is called FBSFC, which stands for Football Beach Soccer Futsal Club. So the kids do mostly soccer, but they use beach soccer and futsal as a training company.
Yes, okay? I love that. That's awesome.
So the most important, so our kids are playing beach soccer all year round. So it's important for us to create that culture, not only for kids, but for adults. So right now, that's my goal here, to start in Miami. Now, I know now is a little bit difficult because of the pandemic and what we're going through. Things are not easy. The cases are growing, but my goal is to tap into former guys that play with me and that I know they have the passion for soccer, and guys that, that want to help. I'm telling them, let's start a beach soccer league. I'm reaching out to college coaches for us to, why not start beach soccer in the colleges?
Right.
Why not in the high schools? Why not? Because, for example, a lot of beach soccer, a lot of colleges now have beach volleyball courts. Yeah. So why not, use those courts to develop beach soccer? I can go to some schools and do clinics and introduce. One thing that we want to do with beach soccer is create a coaching course for beach soccer. So, for example, coaches that wanna learn about beach soccer, they can sign up and become beach soccer coaches, get a coaching license of beach soccer, and that way they can mentor, start and teach their kids. And if we have a league, we can, the coaches have a little bit of a basis. And I want to support those coaches. I think I never had that as a player. I never had that support. It was difficult. We had a coach, but we didn't have, now things we're getting more support from the federation as far as resources. We have a fitness coach, we have a physical therapist. You know, me as a coach, we send the players a plan. You know, this is what I need you to work on 4 or 5 times a week. We're doing Zoom trainings. You know, we do Zoom trainings together once a week. So those are some of the things that you know, we're trying to do to grow the sport. And I think equality is very important. Soccer is something that soccer always taught me. You know, equality. It doesn't matter what race you are, what color you are, what gender you are. You know, I think when you step on the field, we're all equal. So I think sport is something that really teaches kids that lesson. So I think that's key.
Wow. And so as we go to conclude this meeting, I had one question specifically for you. But first, actually, I wanted to talk about your experience in 2019. I was reading your bio, and I believe you join the women's national beach team, the U.S. women's national beach team. You led them to a victory, I guess, at the was it at
World
the
Beach Games?
Yeah, the World Beach Games.
So in 2016, I got the opportunity from Eddie Soto, which was my former coach. He invited me to be his assistant. So I worked with him as an assistant with the men, and I learned a lot. And then in 2019, they started the women's program.
Yes.
And we went and we were invited to go to Qatar for the World Beach Games, which was the first ever World Women's Beach Soccer Tournament. We came out in 5th place. The U.S. came out in 5th, so I think that was, it was great. It was a great experience. So it was amazing because it's something that's under the Olympic Committee.
Right.
So it's kind of like the Olympics of beach games.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool, and it's an event that is here to stay. So that was supposed to actually happen in San Diego, and then it got moved to Qatar. So hopefully they'll have it again in a couple of years. And so that's a tournament. It's like beach volleyball, beach soccer, beach wrestling, wakeboarding. They have like really cool sports. The sports are like beach handball.
Wow.
So it's like really, really cool. The sports are very, very attractive so that's I think it's amazing for beach soccer. I think that's the next step to go to the Olympics, to be included in the Olympics. That's what they're striving for. Because right now they're a FIFA sport, and the next step is for them to become an Olympic sport. That's what the sport is fighting. And I think it's huge.
Wow. Well, yeah. That's awesome. And just my final question would be, as a young media group, how do you think we could grow? And from a beach soccer perspective, what do you think we could implement from women's side and men's side of the game to our page? Because we haven't really posted much about beach soccer, and obviously it's a very fast growing sport. So
no, I think it's once people see what the sport is about, because the sport is very acrobatic, and if you guys can help us promote, there's a lot of tournaments out there. There's and I'll keep you guys posted whenever we have ID camps. Because my idea, once this gets a little bit more calm, is to go to different areas around the country and hold ID camps. So if you guys can help us promote that, and maybe get the players involved either with TikTok or with stories, with whatever, to like maybe do bicycle kicks and stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool. And I can talk to the players and help you whatever way we can help you guys promote it, because I think it's pretty cool, the beach soccer highlights.
Right. That's awesome. Well, yeah. For me, as a fan of just U.S. soccer in general, knowing your accomplishments, it's an honor to speak to you. And I just want to tell you, bless you and thank you. And I'm a big fan of your movement. I was just reading about your football beach soccer, your company. And I think it's just amazing what you're doing. And definitely you are the right person for the job. You are going to take it forward. So we will definitely be in touch. And I just want to tell you, like, once again, bless you and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you. And we'll be in touch whenever we get back to normal. If we have, you say you live in Indiana, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'll let you know when we have camps or we have a tournament. If you're around, if you're close by, if you want to come by, or when there's a tournament. I know. How far are you from Michigan?
Not far at all. The border of Michigan is about, I want to say, like 30 minutes from where I am. I'm where the University of Notre Dame is, if you know the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah, of course. Perfect. So we'll be in touch, and I'll let you know about the thing with the colleges that I want to get involved with. I know now is tough because I know there's a lot of cuts going on in colleges.
Right.
Once things go back to normal, to start working with college coaches, to use beach soccer as a tool, and maybe could start as an intramural sport or for the JV teams. That could be a good spring sport, something like that. All right.
Right. That'd be awesome.
Nice to meet you, my friend.
Like I said,
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed one.
You too. I'll be in touch. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.